let's do a weekend recap because we're running out of time, and we want to make sure we talk about a little bit of it. Just a not great news. So we'll go with injury updates first. We have Tim Ream who broke his arm. He's going to be out for a little while. He also gave up a penalty, unfortunately, against Man City. Man City is going to be running over Fulham no matter what anyway, whether he was out there or not. But he ended up breaking his arm. He's out for the season, and it looks like he might be out for summer and for the summer competitions for the U.S. Nations League and the Gold Cup. And we'll see how that all plays out. That gives another opportunity for somebody else to step up. So you think, okay, Cameron Carter-Vickers. Well, it just got announced a couple hours ago that Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou said that Cameron Carter-Vickers is done for the season after their cup final win against Rangers. They've booked their ticket to the Scottish Cup final. He said, quote, "That's Cameron Carter-Vickers' last game of the year. He's been carrying an injury for I don't know how long. We'll put him out to pasture for a little bit now." What is a little bit now is kind of my question now, because I think it would have been cool to see Cameron Carter-Vickers get a run of games with us. When I think about Cameron Carter-Vickers in our player pool, I always feel like he just kind of got one game here, one game there, but never really got trusted to be the regular guy. And it could have been an opportunity with Ream out to make that happen. So there's that. Malik Tillman also went out with an injury. He was leaving the Rangers Celtic game in tears in the 30th minute. Looks like a hamstring thing. They got to make a decision on whether he stays or whether he goes back to Bayern Munich because he's on loan. Tim Weah and Joe Scally didn't start this weekend. John Anthony Brooks made a mistake that led to the goal that Hoffenheim gave up to RB Leipzig in the 1-0 loss. Leeds obviously is a dumpster fire. There's Eric Palmer Brown. His team, Troyes, is near relegation. Dortmund's choked once again. Musa and Valencia blew a big opportunity to get some points off of Cadiz.
Tell me something good, Jimmy.
Well, Josh Sargent scored.
God.
De La Torre was pretty solid.
Oh, Mark McKenzie scored.
Mark McKenzie scored
the match winner.
Back-to-back games.
Back-to-back
I did talk to Mark, and he said he waited 2 years to get his goal bonus running, and now he's like now the goal bonus is like running a little smooth right now. You
straight to Gucci.
So there's a lot, and it just felt like it. When we look at the weekends or the Americans abroad, it just felt like it slanted a little bit more negative than positive this time around. But I don't know if you guys want to jump in on any of those particular topics.
Yes,
we had.
I do, Jimmy.
Go ahead, then. Well,
I want to go right to you, resident center back of this podcast. So with Ream out
and Cameron Carter-Vickers potentially,
yes. Who are the starting center backs for that Nations League semifinal game?
This is Anthony Hudson still in charge, obviously, right? Because we've already seen that last U.S.-Mexico game, a friendly where he could have played younger players and elected to go with seasoned veterans.
But
that kind of bummed me out.
In the fold either.
No, I know, but that kind of bummed me out because I thought that was a game to try some guys and he didn't. So taking that into consideration, I guess what I'd like to see, that's what you're asking me, Miles Robinson. And
hey, wait, here's some positive news. Serginho Dest dressed.
But
didn't play, but he dressed. Yeah, but
I will say that Brendan Aronson didn't play either, and that was probably for the best because
Paxton played 23. That's an upside. Young guy getting some minutes.
Miles Robinson for sure. I think he'll be starting the Nations League against Mexico. I get the sense that Anthony Hudson will go with Walker Zimmerman, and I think you can make a strong argument for why you'd want that. But there's a part of me that wouldn't mind seeing Chris Richards. We've had Richards and Miles Robinson play together in a World Cup qualifier, so there is some precedent there that they have played together, and I think they're only going to be bigger and better and smarter this time around as they continue to get more reps together. So in the sake of seeing something new, I wouldn't mind seeing Richards and Miles Robinson.
What about something old like a John Anthony Brooks? Because Tim Ream was on the outskirts, right?
Did you not just hear what I said? He made a mistake, man.
Yes. But
he got caught out of
like
position
you said,
on a breakaway.
Just because you make a mistake
double
doesn't
standard,
mean
Jimmy.
Yeah, just because you make a mistake.
I said for goddamn youth national team players, not for 29-year-old center backs.
Hey, Timmy Conrad, listen to me right now. Little Timmy Conrad, listen. You said Tim Ream gave up a penalty, but they would have been ran over anyway. Well, why can't John Anthony Brooks get that same sort of just that gracious, empathetic Jimmy?
I'm not biting on this.
Empathetic.
Honestly,
where's empathy, Jimmy?
Where's the fair treatment here?
It was against Leipzig, and they're fighting relegation. You know what I mean? They were going to get run over by Leipzig.
He's playing in the Bundesliga, and you're telling me because he made a mistake, he can't be an option? Is that what you're saying?
Listen. the Tim Ream has not made as many mistakes as John Brooks is, and I think that there's something that's already happened. I kind of just eliminated John Brooks from the equation.
Yeah,
because I think there's already some issue, or there were words said between either Brooks and the coaching staff or Brooks and Berhalter, and I think Anthony Hudson is still kind of an extension of Greg Berhalter being on his coaching staff. So I just don't see that being a possibility. So I haven't even really considered it, but I'll take what you guys are
climbing
saying.
out of that one really well.
Yeah,
by the way.
seriously.
Connecting Hudson,
Center back hate.
Berhalter,
It's crazy.
Cup.
I've never seen
you.
center backs
Really
like go
good.
against each other.
Jeez,
Normally,
that's
you're in this
baby.
like
That was a-
weird
that
little
was a-
cult.
People think I
Wow.
can't dance. I disagree.
Yeah.
I just tapped into my way out of
Center
that
back
one.
hate.
I
I
This is
just
crazy.
moonwalked out of that one, baby. Let's go.
Geez.
Okay, why don't you
That's
answer
well
your
done.
own question then, Charlie? Okay, who do you
What
want
was
as
that
center
question?
backs? The center backs. Who do you want to see starting against Mexico in the Nations League semifinal?
Miles Robinson for sure. And I'm going to go with Chris Richards
Okay.
or Mark McKenzie. And I know Mark McKenzie has not looked good yet in the U.S. men's national team. But I think like all players, you have to get your club situation right first. And he's done that. And you're building yourself up. And it finally, it'll eventually click. Because obviously something's going right for him to be on the top team in the Belgian Super League, to be on the top team starting, scoring back-to-back games. Now you have this confidence. You're the guy now. You're in the center of the park. It's not a question anymore. The nervous American center back kid who has shown some quality here and there, but makes a lot of mistakes, that's gone. That's out the window. Now with the U.S., you just keep getting your chances. You crack, it doesn't work, and then all of a sudden, you get the opportunity because your club form is so well that it works.
I respect that.
I have a feeling that a Mark McKenzie, Miles Robinson partnership would work really well.
Okay.
Now we've seen on the flip side, we've seen Chris Richards and Miles Robinson work together, and at times it looked good. Sometimes it didn't look great. But Chris Richards, we know he's capable. He's played in the Premier League, and most times when he has played, he looks pretty good. So one of those two for me would be the best partner with
what if Cameron Carter-Vickers was healthy?
Then I would start Cameron Carter-Vickers
and Miles Robinson.
Yes, that would be my two partnership, because Cameron Carter-Vickers is the best defender in the Scottish Premiership. Now, that's not saying a whole lot. If you're saying, hey, Scottish Premier League, do they have teams competing in Champions League like they used to? They don't. And it's always a two-horse race, Celtic Rangers. Celtic are the clear favorites and the best team in that league. Given that, I think he's performed really well, and he's ready for the next step. I mean, Ange Postecoglou, his coach, has said he's the best player in the league, best defender in the league. That means for me, he's ready for another step in whether that's going back to the Premiership. He was at Tottenham in the academy or the reserves.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see him.
I think him going to the Premier League would be a great step.
Maybe stay away from Tottenham,
or just a top division. Maybe going to Bundesliga. I could see him making that step and making a good transition. So given that, if he was fit and in form, that would be my starting pair, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Miles Robinson. Given that he's not there, I think it really comes down to Mark McKenzie and Chris Richards. And you would base it on leading up to the game.
Yeah,
who looks good, who looks sharp. You guys compete, play it out. But I think for Walker Zimmerman, it's gone downhill from World Cup qualifying in terms of its distribution. It's got.
What about Austin Trusty? What about Trusty?
Yeah, Trusty's not a bad shout either.
Trusty's is definitely on the up.
I think Trusty's a Gold Cup. He's a Gold Cup guy.
Agreed.
Not Nations League.
Not quite ready for Nations League, but definitely moving in the right direction. He's to be in the consideration for a call up. That's a massive step in the right direction for Austin Trusty. So I'm happy with his progress, but I wouldn't say he's ready to play off the bat against Mexico in the Nations League semifinal. I
think that it would be Austin Trusty could be this year's version of Miles Robinson in the last Gold Cup, right? Where he gets that run of games. You can see, wow, this kid's got something. He has that promise.